Drea Humphrey here with Rebel News. I'm standing across the street from the Coquitlam Public Library, a place that prides itself on being safe for all members of the community and a facility that stands against all forms of hate. Yet those of you who watched part 1 of this 3-part series know that what occurred here on January 14th was far from loving and even further from safe.
We're going to take the SkyTrain out to Coquitlam Library, and we are going to create a bubble of love. The only way to combat hate is more love.
Especially with the kids around and everything, we try to lighten it up and make it feel like, you know, festive.
Please don't film me. You're in public. Who do you work for? Doesn't matter. Who do you work for? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who I work for. You work for Rebel News, don't you? Yeah, I do. Trust me. This guy works for Rebel News. I got it. Of course it is. Wake up. Wake up.
That was just a taste of what we already showed you at length in part 1 of this 3-piece series. If you want to catch that, you can do so after watching this report by clicking on the description box below. And if you took issue with any of what we had to experience in order to bring you these reports, please consider helping chip in to support our security costs. We did have a bodyguard with us, but it's clear next time we cover a so-called Love is Love event, we're going to need far more. So you can go to journalistdefensefund.com to help keep us safe. And now that myself and BC producer behind the camera, Matt Brevner, are safe and away from the far left Antifa-style extremists who came out to support this library's drag queen storytime event by invitation of a drag queen named Connie Smudge, also known as Chris Bolton. Planned to happen here from 10:30 to 12 o'clock on the 14th was songs, story times, and how to make a drag queen doll by the same drag queen you're watching here make out with a penis to a children's classic, which is Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. Off to the cupboard with you now, Chip. It's past your bedtime. Good night, love.
Now, I'm sure some of you found that clip disturbing, and although that wasn't a story time that you saw, it appears that the people who find it concerning that someone in drag kissing a penis to a children's classic maybe shouldn't be invited and paid for to entertain children in drag at story time are the biggest. Now, perhaps the crowd of people that came with that belief might have done so because of the hit pieces on mainstream media that came out ahead of the protests, like this one you're seeing a clip of from City News.
Some people have never experienced what we actually do. They're making judgments without having any information.
She's the unstoppable Connie Smudge, and this Saturday she's going to do a drag queen story time for kids at the Coquitlam Library, featuring reading, crafts, and sing-alongs. But people are set to protest her event. People who Connie says have made threats, saying her presentation will sexualize or psychologically harm children.
Sexualizing children is not what we're about. We're about creating an all-inclusive space where everyone can be themselves.
Despite the hateful comments she says she's been receiving, Connie is still going to show up to the library, extending an open invite to all supporters who want to join her.
Yeah, you guys. Get away! He's a pro pedophilia.
What you just saw there was Harm, the organizer of the small protest. By the way, not the first one, but the one that got the most attention against Drag Queen Storytime event, being sworn by the Antifa-like thugs. And what was more concerning than the hundreds of people who came to gather for penis-kissing Connie Smudge to read to the kids over here is that many of them watched on as these Antifa thugs swarmed and harassed and assaulted while cheering, "Love is louder."
Bud, hold your dog.
Stop it!
Hold your dog.
What is wrong with you?
He's just literally punched a woman. It was me.
You guys are poor pedophilia. You're proud.
Love is love. Back off.
Me too. Yeah, let's do it. He's gonna film me. Who do you work for? Doesn't matter. Who do you work for? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who I work for. You work for Rebel News, don't you? Yeah, I do. Trust me. This guy works for Rebel News.
And mixed right within the crowd during this level of violence was Coquitlam MLA and Minister of Post-Secondary Education, Selena Robinson. Since then, the violent extremist you saw in action there, as well as MLA Robinson, who supports the whole efforts, have been paraded as some sort of hero on social media and in the mainstream media.
A BC government cabinet minister has found herself on the receiving end of a wave of ugly Twitter comments because of her support for a local drag queen.
But the response on Twitter is pretty ugly. I've been called names. I've been sworn at. I've been told that I'm going to hell. I have been called groomer, to which my response is, yes, I bathe regularly and I get haircuts. I believe in good grooming. I've taught my children to do good grooming.
stripes, stinging like a bee. I earned the stripes. I went from 0.
Can you hear me? Wait. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Mingle with each other, or are you gonna get kids involved? Can you hear me now?
Protesting. Well, actually, we're anti-protesting. And I promised I'm going to behave myself today. Because today is about love. It's not about hate.
My name is Heather. I'm from Coquitlam. I've lived here my entire life, and I'm really happy that I'm seeing so many people out here supporting the movement and making sure that love is louder than hate. This is just such a great boost for our community and the people here who are just wanting love to conquer over hate.
Pedophile, buddy. You're proud of that. Proud pedophile. You're a proud pedophile. You don't sexualize your children. Because you're a pervert. Leave the kid to get a girlfriend. Get a boyfriend. out to leave the kids alone.
Can we interview you? You've got quite the outfit on.
Well, we're Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence.
Oh, okay, Perpetual Indulgence. Please elaborate.
Well, we're gay nuns. We started out more than 40 years ago in San Francisco, and the sisters started to basically help people with HIV. You know, they fundraised and helped people a lot, fed, kept them housed, and took care of them in the hospital when nobody would. And that's why we became nuns, was because that's nuns' work, right?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I'm just double checking my mic's on. Okay, I'm gonna look at some of the stuff. So you go by Sister Bear It All.
Yes. That's Sister Diversity Reigns.
Okay. All right, and so you've got obviously the religious tone, but then explain the horns, because I thought that was more of a Satan thing.
Well, no, so the sisters around the world have different so we have sort of like the nuns have the wimple, or it's actually called something else, but we always use the word wimple. And we try to make it match something in our area, and so this is like the mountain peaks.
So it has nothing to do with Satan horns?
No.
Okay. And then you've got a Dora bag. What's your thoughts on people who have concerns?
Okay.
Some of the things we're seeing here are completely inappropriate, and I've done some interviews as well, and I've been suggesting that, why does people find it appropriate for young children to be looking at people who are overly sexualized? And the main argument is that, what does this have to do with sex? And obviously you just take a look at the skimpy dresses, and it's overly sexualized gay men dressing in women's clothing. That's sexual, I'm sorry.
Can we ask you why you're protesting today?
Well, we're actually counter-protesting the people that are protesting the drag storytelling, because they're basically spreading like fake rumors and saying like misleading things about us.
And so what is the correct thing about what is drag queen story time to you?
I don't know all the details about it. All I know is they read stories to little children. They have activities like singing songs, arts and crafts. I'm not really the one that represents, so I don't really know any more details about it. But
what's your thoughts on people who might have concerns with Drag Queen Story Hour events?
The same thing that I have concerns with this kind of reporting.
What's that?
False accusations.
I just asked a question. You can answer.
I know you did, but I know what your media do. You've done it to me before.
My name's Drea Humphrey. I've never interviewed you before.
You haven't, but your media has.
But I'm an independent journalist, and I'm in charge of this report.
You're with Rebel News.
Yeah, so
No.
Now is an opportunity.
I talk to Rebel News.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you see how beautiful you are.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day.
Thank you so much. And thanks for talking to us.
You see yourself, you're beautiful. Enjoy your day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, drag queen events used to be sort of like almost like burlesque, like something you would find in a club and adults having a good time. Do you think it's abnormal that some people might have concerns now that it's starting to go into libraries and city things?
Not really.
Who picked your outfit today?
I picked it myself. It's more kawaii inspired, and I bought the dress on Kawaii Goods, and I bought the cardigan on Shein. It kind of goes with it.
Okay. Do you mind if I ask if you're a drag queen, or?
I'm more of I guess it's just a cross-dresser, transvestite.
And what do you think about, there is a gentleman on the truck with a sign that says Gays Against Groomers, and he's part of the LGBT community. What's your response to that?
I don't know, as far as I know this, it's not true. We're not groomers. We're not pedophiles. We're not predators.
Thank
Thank you so much. Or did you? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right, okay. All right, so we've officially been backed into a corner of the library at the so-called peaceful Love is Love rally. The supporters of the event have told us not to antagonize. Back off. Back off. You are intimidating me. I don't feel safe. You okay? You guys, hold on. She's my friend. Off. Please don't. She's on the other side, but please don't. Back off. Let me do my job. You guys are horrible. Are you okay?
You spread misinformation and hate. Rebel News is not real news.
Okay, back that up with some piece of evidence.
If you guys really want to protest something, why don't you go protest?
I'm not protesting. I'm covering the protest.
Church where the real groomers are.
I do cover all of that.
It's not even real news. It's fake news. It's misinformation.
You can't just say things without backing it up. What have I ever said that's misinformation?
Lady, you guys know exactly what you do.
You guys are protesting the press.
Make sure that you incite hate on the right.
I have not incited. In fact, City News put out a piece that made all these people come like it was going to be some huge hateful event. And the only ones swarming and assaulting people are the people who are allied with the event. Why are you protesting me and preventing me from doing my job? Why?
What is the message that you are sending out right now?
I'm asking people questions.
Okay, and you're from Rebel News, right?
Yes. What's your point? Oh, you can't answer why you're protesting me? You should be able to. Come on, man. Get that out of my face. This isn't loving, you guys. Can't you see that?
This is the exact spot I was in when myself and Matt Brevner behind the camera were backed into a wall. Our security tried to move us away, which we happily did so, and we were swarmed by the Antifa-style cowards, some of which I'd seen before, as they tried to intimidate citizens peacefully attending a Christian freedom event.
Can I ask you why you're protesting against a church service?
It's not a church service. It's neo-Nazi, white supremacist, it's homophobic. They're not cool, man.
Where were the police, you ask, during most of these altercations? Well, almost all of them were standing across the street watching it go down and waiting so that they could escort drag queen Connie Sludge on his way out, as though he was the one who was at risk here. But my security did try to call 911 as he realized he couldn't ward off all of the bubble of love by himself. We made our way over to the police, and this is how helpful they were.
So, was that an official police report my security just gave you, or? Can I have your badge number, sir? Okay, you're obligated to give me your badge number.
64423.
And did you just take our report seriously from my security?
Yes, I did.
Okay, do we get a file number?
No, you can call the non-emergency number and get that file number, okay? Yeah. I know I'm here for the protest. They might send another investigator for that report. Okay, no. Okay? Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Why don't you guys take your masks off?
Knuckles are busted.
What are you looking at? You think I'm intimidated by you, man? Not at all.
We're not trying to be intimidated. We're trying to protect.
Then why are you wearing masks?
For safety, you fucking
What do you mean safety?
weirdo?
Like COVID or
Yo,
something?
with the cameras in my face, you're a fucking doctor.
So is everybody. You just assaulted some guy on camera.
Didn't.
I have the receipts here.
Bro, I'd love to see all
here.
your fucking footage with that fucking moron in the truck. Why'd you got bloody knuckles?
I got all of it.
Yeah.
I got the whole 20 minutes.
Good. I'm sure it'll matter.
Excuse me, I just want to make sure my colleague's safe.
Like, you come here with the mask on, it's obvious you have an intention to stir up some problems.
No, dude.
Yeah, man. You
Every
can't tell me
person out of that
it's
event
COVID.
has literally thanked us. You guys came here to stop a fucking story.
You know, there's like
Get the fuck out of my face.
there's like 7 counter protesters here and like 200 of you guys. So what's your deal?
Yeah, what is that deal? If there's like 200 people trying to enjoy themselves and there's 7 of you.
No, but I'm saying why this militant approach is my question.
Because you guys are fucking dangerous. Fuck off.
I'm here just trying to document it. Alright, well, okay. So
good at being.
Please don't touch my camera.
I'm not touching it. I'm not touching my camera. Okay.
Assaulting women? You guys are cowards. You guys are cowards. Coward. 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 Coward.
You look reasonable. I'm hoping I can interview some of the people here in support of the event without being assaulted. Can I talk to you about that?
What a presumption that you would be assaulted.
I already have been. That's why I'm saying it.
The people who are supporting the event they're about love.
They already assaulted me, and we've got video of them assaulting other people. Not you, but my question is, why are you here today? That's it. Simple.
Because love's got to win.
And so,
motivated by love, we want to spread love. We want to spread inclusion. We want to spread the message that everybody can be themselves.
did you witness any of the violence that was taking place earlier, or you didn't see it?
I can't presume. I can't presume that there was violence.
Oh, I asked if you witnessed it, so you didn't witness.
Well, you're saying that there's an it there, and I didn't. I
you didn't see it. You didn't see it.
I question that.
That's fine.
I'm sorry, but I can't agree to the premise of your question.
Oh, I just asked you if you saw it or not, so you didn't see it.
Yeah, I can't agree to the premise of your question.
I'll show you it if you want.
I was on the SkyTrain coming here.
After security evacuated us away from the area for a little bit, we came back to catch Chris Bolton, Connie Smudge, on his way out to the SkyTrain station to see if we could get you some questions. But unfortunately, the far left extremists kept up with their violent ways of shutting down communication, typical fascists using force to silence people. They impeded my cameraman as I was initially talking to Smudge, who did at first just answer my questions quite normally, until one of them said, "Don't talk to them," and you can hear him saying, "Oh, we don't like these people." I guess he can't think for himself.
You just shoved your camera right in my face, bro.
Public space, you're allowed to film anyone in public space. Yeah, you just grab my gear, man.
Idiot, my hands are in the air, you idiot.
I got the
Don't bump into me, don't bump into me.
I don't want anyone. I'm not trying to be. I'm not an asshole. I'm not trying to bump into you. Hey, look. Hey, don't touch my interview. My reporter's interviewing your person. Get out of my way, please, respectfully. I'm just trying to shoot the interview. Like, what are you doing? What the hell's your problem?
Do we not like this?
We don't like this. This is rebel.
It's up to you. I'm just asking you questions.
I'm gonna wish you really well, and we don't really. We like open. We like open-minded people here.
What do you say about the violence that's happened against myself?
No time for violence.
And what about the violence that happened against the protesters? Do you condone that?
I don't think that.
What about the violence?
I love you all.
No one wants
I love you.
There's going to be a lot of people who want to hear you. Don't touch me.
I didn't touch you. Thank you for being rude. Thank you.
This is causing a disturbance. You want to do something, get these two. It came here on no noise on the train.
Connie Smudge had the privilege of being escorted away safely by police that day, but what about those who had worked hard to try and keep the peace? Like concerned father Pierre Barnes, who raises awareness about the sexually explicit books running rampant in schools these days. Or Croy Jenkins, the man you saw holding the LGBTQ+ flag that read Gays Against Groomers. We caught up with both men a couple of days later. We wanted to show them the footage of what had happened to them and get their input, so we did so at the New Westminster Public Library.
Corner of the library at the so-called peaceful Love is Love rally. The supporters of the event have told us not to antagonize.
You're laughing about it.
You're intimidating me.
This is what do you remember? Yeah, those people have no respect.
So it gets fairly rough with a bunch of people who are dressed in black hoodies and masks. I would dare to say it's Antifa, but there's a lot of people who will tell you that they don't exist. So for all intended purpose, these black-clad dressed people were not there with peaceful intent. I had shown up, maybe there was about 50 supporters of the event, and there's these 3 ladies in front, and I came up and I said, are you all alone? And they said yes. I'm like, okay, well, I'm here, and I pull out a flag that says Gays Against Groomers, and there's a lady with red hair. She jumped into my arms and said, thank you so much. The people dressed in black did not like that at all. So 3 of them came, and they kept following me around and kind of shoving me. But I was going to stand my ground because I believe in my message. So I stood my ground. It started to get a little bit nerve-wracking, and then this gentleman with the sign and the megaphone showed up. And then 3 more of these violent people appeared out of nowhere, and they swarmed him. They just swamped him.
My gosh, okay.
Were you surprised at how aggressive they were?
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah, I was surprised, but I'm not surprised about Antifa right there.
See, and even there, they went from having their hands up and saying, "Oh, we're not pushing you," and shoving us with their torsos, to full-on hand pushing. And nobody else is talking about this. No other news organization is talking about this, even though they are right there. It's a shameful. It tells me that they have a particular story that they want to tell, and the truth is not in their best interest.
And I know you thought that the police needed to be called to be there for this, but in reality, the police, much of them, are actually just standing across the street waiting at the SkyTrain station.
Oh, really?
To escort Connie when she was done with the kids. They were still there. They could see that there was this stuff happening.
That is interesting. I'm taken aback. I am at a loss for words. Shocking.
You know, I think next time they're gonna come with knife. Honestly, and I'm not saying that just those people or those type of people. This is just the beginning, you know. And we're not the one who are going to hurt people. Those people are fulfilled with hate. It's clear. Some of them is not even ideological. There is something's evil, like that guy here. That guy, I saw him on many protests, and he's just getting mad all the time, right? You know, so he's completely out of control.
Which guy? Show me on the camera.
Yeah, the one with the mustache here. Yeah. Okay, that one is on many protests, and trust me, you look at his eyes, and he's very dangerous. And he actually treated the gay guys to follow him home.
There's one point where this gentleman threatens to follow me home.
So I had to drive Croy to his home because the Antifa wanted to follow him, and it was so serious that even the police came and see me and asked me if I was ready to bring Croy home. So they really wanted a confirmation that someone was taking care of him.
I couldn't see it right there. So what had happened there, because I was behind another person, is that one person threatened to hit me.
The
and
one who just said F you, or?
No, one that was dressed all in black with a mask.
Yeah.
And well, he threatened to hit me, and I just said, you know what? If you're gonna hit me, just do it, right? Because I was there for a very important reason and a very important message, and I couldn't back down. My own safety be damned.
Hit me? Do it. Do it. No need to. You're doing yourself no harm.
And what do you make of the chanting "Love is louder" while violent Antifa-like people are being so aggressive?
Well, it has a good ring to it. You say love over hate, love is love. I mean, that it's a sound-worthy message. It's a good soundbite, because if you compare everything like, oh, but love is better, oh, but we're the kind people, it's just a soundbite. It just because somebody says something doesn't make it true. And again, this goes into, everybody feels good about doing this, so everybody feels good about doing this, therefore it must be correct. And that's not, unfortunately, how reality works. Our feelings do not supersede reality.
Oh my God.
We like to sing, especially with the kids around and everything. We try to light it up and make it feel like, festive.
Yeah, it's tough. Always, most of the queer people, I'm pretty sure they don't want to perform our own children's, right? And we always have to question why this guy wanted to read story to children's. Can he not have anything else better to do, actually? When you think about that, right, it's just...
Sexualizing children is not what we're about. We're about creating an all-inclusive space where everyone can be themselves.
So, I have to talk on that for a moment. So, pretty much the whole reason I came out has to do with, I have one question. One question. If we could all agree on what this one question is, I will pack up and happily go home. But nobody has been able to answer this question. And that is the simple question of, where is the line? Where's the line? Now, a lot of people may say that Drag Queen Story Hour is innocuous. And okay, sure, that's the starting point. Let's go to the very extreme. We can all agree that pedophilia is wrong and immoral and illegal, all those things. But is there a point where we can agree on a line before it gets to that point?
Sexualizing children is not what we're about. We're about creating an all-inclusive space where everyone can be themselves.
We've entered an age where the LGBTQ community is no longer seeking equality. I dare say we're no longer seeking equality, but we're seeking supremacy. Now, allow me to elaborate on that. So, it used to be about equality, and we got equality back in 2005, and the US 2015 with the right to marry. It should have ended there. We should have gone home because we had equality, but it's no longer about equality. People will say from that community that they're oppressed and that they don't have the same rights as everybody else. But I say supremacy because the LGBTQ symbol and ideology, it's in our government, it's in our schools, it's in our community centers, it's on our TV, in our movies. Every corporate logo changes their symbol to a rainbow symbol for a month. And I mean, we only celebrate Canada Day once a year, right? So tell me another holiday that's celebrated for a month. And not only that, as I said, there are pornographic materials for children, exclusively for children in libraries and in schools right now. And it's almost become a religion. And I said it's in everything, it's in our laws. We have a compelled speech law, and you aren't really allowed to have an opinion on what is okay, acceptable and unacceptable in the LGBTQ community, because there are laws that will persecute you. You know, I, for one, believe in freedom of speech. If you can say, you shouldn't have to be arrested for it. So there are compelled speech laws. And how can you have laws on things that are undefinable? Like if I ask somebody from a gendered community, like how many genders there are, they can't tell me. Can we create a law on something that it's undefinable?
And forever constantly changing.
Yeah, we had one pride flag to start, and then we had a couple, and then I can't tell you how many there are, and nobody can. Again, something undefinable that we have laws over. So I think this highly sexualized culture that's being integrated through almost a government mandate has turned into a religion, and it's punishable to speak ill of this religion.
Sexualizing children is not what I'm into at all. If you think about it, I was groomed to be heterosexual. How did that work out?
Wow, that's a nonsense. He's been groomed to be heterosexual. I don't know. What did he say in the beginning? Wait a minute, I don't remember. He said
sexualizing kids is not at all.
Yeah, sure. That's, you know, if you're talking. There is a slogan that go around with those people, is protect trans kids. You know, people like that saying that they protect trans kids is the same thing that a pedophile saying that he loves children. It's the same thing, right? So it's when they say they protect trans kids, actually well, for them protecting trans kids it's to put gender ideologies into the consciousness of children, right? And to make them believe that a boys can be a girl and a girls can be a boy, right? Which is abuse. It's a mental abuse. When someone tells you you're born in the wrong body, I mean, it is child abuse to say that to a child. And yes, you know, that's how I'm upset about this.
I think Connie said something that's actually kind of profound and and we talk about slippery slope, because Connie is saying essentially that society set Connie up to be groomed to be heterosexual. So if that's the case, that's basically a subconscious admission that they are grooming at these events, but it's okay because it's just like leveling the scale. So as a gay man, like what do you think about that?
I think it's a very clever tactic of doublespeak. It's finding ways of taking language and strategically using the syntax for their advantage to normalize that path of grooming.
And the word grooming doesn't mean that.
No.
That they're normalizing it. Grooming means?
Grooming means the conditioning of, in this instance, grooming is the conditioning of children to be more accepting of sexualized nature, sexualized culture, and unfortunately the effect of that is the child will not be able to tell when they're being abused and when they're not being abused, and again, they can't make decisions for themselves. That's why you have guardians and parents. You know, if we were all pod people, I'm sure we'd live in a different society, but it's parents raising their children.
Now, you're never going to believe this, but after Connie Sludge was escorted onto the SkyTrain, he took the time to message me and tell me that he is disappointed in me. My response was, for what? Being assaulted while covering your event? And he smugly replied, good luck with that. This is the individual that the cops escorted while ignoring the attack against the press. I guess black lives don't really matter when you're a drag queen. Now, there is a lot more to digest about this. As I mentioned, especially the elected officials, and by the way, Robinson wasn't the only one in attendance. And I also did get some more response from Smudge himself. You're not going to want to miss part 3 of this important report. So make sure you subscribe on whatever you're watching now and go to our website at rebelnews.com and give us your email there so you don't miss it. I'm Drea Humphrey for Rebel News.